What? Wow. Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. And a couple things top of mind. Think of 168. 168. There's 168 hours in a week. And one of the things I was always taught by my folks was how everybody is given the same 168 hours, and how we use those is our choice, and our curiosity behind it drives our choice, and our focus will drive our success, or our concentration will drive our success. Anyway, just a couple things. I have never met anyone who's made a friend without a smile. I have never met anyone who has won a contract or a business agreement without a smile. So just a reminder, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I sang that song because all my life I've always had a theme song of something. As I was walking to school, I opted to walk to school versus taking the bus because I didn't like being picked on. And I always had music. And actually walking to school was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because along the way, the people in the neighborhood used to say, "Little man," they never called me by my name. They go, "Little man, you're gonna be okay." And they turned out to be my cheerleaders as I walked to school. So anyway, I heard about your school through one of your faculty members. And it was when a group of you wanted to go to Washington, D.C. And, I decided to put up some money to help you get there. And I will always support and invest in people who are good for our country and have hope and dreams. Just be good alumni for your high school and good supporters for whatever you opt to do after high school. So, I'm originally from upstate New York, and I was raised in the Midwest, and all our family roots come from Mississippi, Alabama, but we migrated up north, and it was the best thing that happened to us. You'll find, just like some of you with your parents, some have immigrated from overseas, and some have migrated from different parts of the country. But you'll find mobility tends to drive opportunity. And my whole career has been that way too. After high school, I went to a school called Indiana University. I'm an active alumni. I studied economics and geography, was recruited by Procter & Gamble, the makers of Downy, Tide, Ivory Soap, things like that, Febreze, and ended up working for Kraft Foods. Kraft Foods makes cheese. We also owned Oscar Mayer, you name it, a number of things. At the time, we owned Cadbury and also Nabisco too, but mergers and acquisitions, a lot of different things happen. Any company or any business you're in, whether you're in a government or education, whatever, everybody has to get something, a product or a service from point A to point B, and as long as you are a part of the solve, and as long as you manage your 168 hours in a week, the right way, you will become a critical part of that as an active doer. You'll never see me call myself a leader. I viewed myself as a strong, informed follower, but an active doer, as my dad said. Master something and solve something, and you'll always be in demand, regardless of what it is. And I made sure that when I worked at fast food or worked at an animal clinic, usually I worked at each place a couple of years and concurrently, and drove a truck and worked in a grocery store, 5 years in a library. Always had 2 jobs. I made sure that I understood why it was being done. And that made all the difference later on, because I got hired on the spot for pretty much each of the major corporations that I worked with by virtue of the things that I kept, the dossiers that I kept, and I counted and quantified everything. So I retired at 50 years old, 6 years ago, at 50. And I had worked at Kraft for 25 years, 14 assignments, about 4 or 5 times in corporate headquarters, and work with a lot of the main retailers and manufacturers that I partnered with and brands that you're familiar with, whether in sales, marketing, supply chain, market research, consumer insights. You got to know the numbers. If you're going to be successful, you'll need to be a forever reader, and you'll need to also master math. The only guarantee that we're given in life in the beginning is a blank canvas. That's what we're given. And you're given the pen. There will be blue marks, and in life there will be red marks. But you decide how you do that over time, okay? And that's really about me. On the philanthropic side, I've worked, I've helped lead, actually chaired in Honduras, a micro-lending in educational services where we provided financing and educational services where we train about 6,000 to 7,000 families a year on how to start their own business in Honduras. And we've been around for about a decade, actually 2 decades. And it's called Adelante Foundation, and then also served in Washington, D.C., appointed position with the Smithsonian for the Asian Pacific American Center, supporting a number of initiatives, some that actually have been worldwide initiatives. And also, always be active and give back to your school. I'm glad to see your high school alumni here, because that is so important. And just remember, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it to your heart's desire. If you can do it in your imagination, then you can do it in real life. Manager 168, you own it. We all have 168 hours and you'll be fine. Bless you. Thank you.